You know what he did, y'all? Welcome back to our last video in the discipline series for the month of December. I am absolutely excited that I've made it here and that you guys have been on this journey with me. So kudos to yourself for learning and watching videos that's going to help you grow and for connecting with me. I appreciate that. Today's topic is emotional discipline. Today's video is going to be a little different. It's going to be more conversational. And to be very honest with you guys, this is something I'm still working on. I personally don't think I've mastered this yet. I don't think I've mastered it yet because it's very challenging and it's one that takes time, experiences, and wisdom. I have evolved tremendously in this area of emotional discipline. So I want to share with you guys today what I have learned and done in this area. We are defining emotional discipline as being able to effectively manage your feelings. So emotional discipline has to do with managing your feelings. And this could be learning how to stay calm in certain situations, not being overreactive, being slow to speak. I'm sharing a personal story today that kind of connects back with how I got to where I am, because it was a pivotal moment in my life where I realized that I needed to build my emotional discipline. I'm gonna start with I've grown a lot. All glory to God, because yeah, it was bad. I used to have a difficult time staying calm, not being overreactive, being patient, keeping my tongue. But God, he did it. Because we have grown tremendously. And so as I started researching this topic and reflecting on my own personal experiences, there was this one event that purposely stood out to me that made me realize I needed to change and improve my emotional discipline. It was a very pivotal moment for me because it affected everything going forward to where I am today. So let's get into this story that I'm talking about. So I was in a relationship at the time and when this occurred, and things got heated. It has been heated for a while, and things were said that I didn't like, and I was very upset. Like at this point, I was like angry, like anger. And also it was the time of the month, you know, ladies. So my emotions was already on its high. And you know, something that I struggled with back then is when I was in that space, I allowed myself to express my emotions, no matter how negative, no matter how bad it was. I just allowed myself to say whatever, do whatever, and just act all childish. And so, you know, giving myself that excuse just caused me more problems in friendships or relationship or whatnot. I distinctively remember being on the phone with this person and they said something and I just started yelling, screaming, cussing. Mind you, this is all out of my character. Like, wait, what? Like, I just started going crazy with how I was talking and acting. And you know what he did, y'all? He hung up the phone on me. He banged it. And I don't remember if he had texted me. It was like, let me know when you're ready to talk or something. It's either that or he didn't. But I remember after the phone hung up and I realized what was done, I sat in the car so embarrassed. I remember making a vow to myself right then and there in the car that I would never allow someone else's actions to make me act out of my character ever again. Like, to this day, that's how embarrassed I was. Like, I was just like, never again. Like, because I'm like, why was I acting like that? That's not even me. It was that day that I decided, yo, this can't go on like this. Like, Onika, you gotta change. Thank God, because we did. Like, I have changed drastically from high school to that point to now. And being a coach as well, this is something that has caused me in this area to increase drastically. because it was like I had no other choice. And for the things that I want to do, I have to have emotional discipline in this area. Change happened when I started building my relationship with God, and I started to learn what it meant to be Christ-like and to have the fruits of the Spirit. And I remember like just people experiencing me and just had so many different like positive things to say, like about myself, how I spoke, my energy. And I was like, oh, when did this happen? It was like it just kind of built upon itself over time, where it became more natural for me to speak better, or speak with more grace, and give people, be more patient. Like being patient is one of the things that I heavily try to hold myself accountable to, and I fall short some days, but I know that's something that I want to make sure I am very good at. I had to change my mindset though once I started that, to say that the actions of other people had nothing to do with me, but more so to do with themselves. And so when I feel the emotion of anger, trying not to express it in an unhealthy way that's going to cause more problems down the line, but using it as a tool on how I might need to set boundaries going forward, or how I might need to take a break and rest. And so that's one thing I would say that I've done that's been helpful. And this is why I don't regret anything, because that experience, no matter how difficult it was or embarrassing, it taught me so much, like about myself at the time and now, where I'm like I'm distinctively remembering it. I don't regret anything, because there's purpose in everything that God takes us through. So the one thing I want you to remember is emotions are not a guide to determine reality. They are a response to reality. Using your emotions as a guide to help you on what to do to go forward, rather than just acting based on it. So there's a Bible verse that I have been using to help me on my emotional discipline journey. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, from James 1 verse 19. I used to be talking over people. I used to yell. I used to shout. Like, if people come at me yelling, I look at you crazy, because I don't want to be communicated to with someone yelling and screaming at me. So that's why I give people grace, because I remember when I did it. But I really look at you crazy. And so instead of me responding, I either go silent, or I ask you to repeat yourself in a better tone. Like, please don't yell at me. I'm not yelling at you. Like, I'm one of those people that if you're screaming at me, I'm going to be at a 0. You're going to be at a 10, because I'm not going to your level. This verse has helped me to learn how to not speak over people, how to be patient, how to be slow to speak. Like, I used to think that getting the first word out meant I won. I won this argument. I won this conversation. No. And I have become a very good attentive listener, very observative, and I've seen the difference it's made in my life. And so I would say that's a great verse. And Proverbs has many, and I'll read 2 more. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. That's Proverbs 19:11. You know, we all have this ego issue where we allow our ego to get in the way. Sometimes offense is good. Offense will let you know that your ego needs to be brought down. Like, you got a little big ego and it got to be brought down. And so honestly, when people humble me sometimes, I'm grateful for it. I don't yell, I don't scream, I might feel it some type of way, but once I reflect in my journal, I'm like, oh yeah, I needed that. You needed to humble me in that way, God. So I'm gonna let it slide. And so the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, forbearance, gentleness, kindness, goodness, faithful, and self-control. These are very important. And so when I feel like I'm not portraying those qualities or traits in my conversations, in my relationship, that's when I know I'm not connected to the vine. Because John 15 verse 5 says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And so that's how I see it. If I'm lacking in an area that I know I'm not supposed to be lacking in, I know I'm not as connected to Christ as I should be. So those are times when I go back and I'm like, okay, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do to kind of get closer to God or to Christ. So here are the 3 tips that I use to help build my emotional discipline. Number 1, pause. Always feel free to take a pause in a conversation, in an argument, anything. Take a deep breath. And I do that, and I will do it under my breath. Like, I will just sit there and I'm like, okay, we need to take a breather before I act. I always pause and just take a moment to breathe before I make a decision. And then I think about the consequences. If I say what I want to say, and if I do what I want to do, what's going to happen? But the most important question is it really worth it? Is it worth me going to jail? No. Is it worth me losing this friendship? No. I'm a very honest person, and not a lot of people can handle the level of honesty that I might bring sometimes. So one of the things that I've learned is if I can't say it with grace, I'm not going to say it at all. Like, until I learn how to say it with grace, I'm probably not going to say it. And if you're not in a place to receive it, I'm not going to say it as well. So the third one is to pray and sleep on it. Ask God to give you wisdom on how to handle the situation that you're going through with your emotions. If you don't know how to respond, I usually just sleep on it. Your emotions gonna calm down the next day. Sometimes we just tired. We just need some sleep. So get some rest. It might all be over tomorrow. You might not even have to work. I can't tell y'all how many times I went to bed and woke up and the issue is solved. I prayed and I went to bed. And I woke up, I don't even gotta worry about it no more. So pray and sleep, my go-to tactic. My go-to tactic. And so those are the 3 tips that I have for you to build your emotional discipline in 2024. Pause, take a breath. Think about the consequences. Is it really worth it? Pray and sleep on it. Ask God to give you wisdom to handle the situation and get you some rest. So that is all I have for today in today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I am super excited. I have a challenge coming up called Commitment Issues, learning how to make your commitments for the new year and achieve your goals. And I am super excited for this challenge. You guys could join via the link that I'll put in the comments. But outside of that, like and share this video if it was helpful, or this entire discipline series. Like it and share it with someone, because that's going to be key for you to accomplish your goals in 2024. I am your coach, Onika. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.